I can't handle any more failure. I can't handle any more, uncertainty. I can't handle any more, pain. I'm tired of handling all this stuff why does everything happen to me? Why does everything in life happen to me? How come I have to deal with all this stuff, all this garbage? How come life just can't be easy and simple? I'm just tired. I'm tired of trying. I'm tired of making effort to see things through and they don't happen. I'm tired of worrying about the future and money, and I'm done. I'm fed up with not knowing. I'm fed up with not having a plan that just is going to work out. That's certain. I'm done. Okay. That was an act. It's Ryan with Real Stuff, Real Change. Hope you're doing great today. Wednesday, hump day. Beautiful day here in Charlottesville. Gorgeous out. So from an emotional health and intelligence perspective, I wanted to take some time to identify worry and fear and how they create patterns. They create horribly dysfunctional patterns in our lives. And they can remain in our lives from the time we're little until the time we die if we allow them to. Worry or depression, sadness, usually is dealing with things from the past, hurts, pain, disappointments, failures, lack of support, family issues, whatever that might be. Fear, anxiety-based things are things that haven't even happened yet. So we're talking about the future. We're talking about things that you and me and anybody else who is human can't figure out. We just don't know. Yet what we do is we create patterns of fear in our thinking, in our brain, that cause us to believe that certain things are going to happen because we've had experiences in the past that we continue to hold on to and represent for the future. So worry and anxiety, worry, fear, and anxiety. So today I thought we'd talk about how these things steal our emotional intelligence. And then when you think about stealing your emotional intelligence, you might want to think about how it steals your awareness. It steals your ability to have healthy perspective. And if you're anything like me, I desire to have healthy perspective from a conscious level, but unconsciously for years I would continue to live in this exasperated worry, this increasing anxiety, this fear, this assumptive pattern that people are out to get me, or I could never change the way I was. It was impossible. I would tell myself this, and this would eliminate any opportunity at all for me to have any type of intelligence on an emotional level. And I might be a hard worker because I am a hard worker, and I'm sure many of you are also. But from an emotional intelligence perspective, it doesn't make any difference if you work hard or not. Emotional intelligence is about you being internally aware of who you are and how you behave. And so today I wanted to talk about how these things actually rob us of the joy of having healthy emotional intelligence. And it robs us of having the life we've always wanted, a creative, successful, fulfilling, rewarding, calm, and peaceful present life that gives us the ability to be still. So I want to let you know that while I'm teaching this on this video, I am a true talent of creating worry and fear. I am really good at it. I'm a professional. I'm a professional worrier, professional fear guy. I can set up professional assumptions. I can create professional past hurts in a minute. I'm good at it. And we all are at some point. We're all skilled, very skilled at being mean to ourselves and being devaluing to ourselves. And that comes through the worry and the fear that I'm talking about here in this video. But presently, and for the last 2 or 3 years, I've become more aware through patterns, through changes and techniques that have helped me to identify my emotional dysfunction. And I've learned how to reframe those specific things into a means of healthy thinking. And so you might be asking, well, how did you do that? That's incredible. I would love to do that. I tell myself I need that all the time, but then I can't do it. I go right back to the same vortex of patterns, vortex of worry and fear, and I just keep repeating the same pattern. And so, and that's a great question. How did I do it? And what does it take to make these changes a reality in your life? What does it take to make them part of your present and your future life, and think differently? So think about what keeps you constantly worried or constantly fearing. Just take a few seconds to think about it. It won't take long. It could be life circumstances. It could be a job loss. It could be a relationship breakup. It could be a death in the family. It could be a move. You may have moved. It could be that you were adopted when you were younger and you never knew your biological parents. It could be that you have been sick your entire life and still remain that way as an adult. It could be that you watch people be super mean to each other and super hateful, and you've picked up this pattern of hate and you're not sure how to get rid of it. It could be that you were told, hey, you know what? You have to survive. So in order to survive, you have to worry about things that haven't come up yet. You got to protect yourself. You got to be ready for anything, ready for any problem. And for me personally, I had all that stuff. I mean, I had bad relationships. I had, I had hate. I had reactive emotional reactions and yelling and screaming, and personally, and really bad allergies growing up and sinus issues that is still to this day I'm working through. Tons of job loss, tons of career change. At one point, I thought I was just going to be a wandering job guy. I was just going to go from job to job and just kind of pick up whatever. And I really didn't want to do that. Relationships, dating the same type of girl every time and realizing I was dating myself. There's so much that create this worry and fear, but we all have our own specific story. And so ask yourself what that story is. And when you ask yourself what it is, go into it and start to identify what these worries and fears are represented by. Now, I'll be honest with you, when you do that, you're opening up a can of worms. And when you open up that can of worms, there's no really going back. I mean, you can go back and try to shut the door, but the door's been shut anyway. You might as well just swing it wide open and enter in with your own risk. Because it's better to enter in with your own risk and to engage what you want changed than to shut it up, lock it away, and 20 years from now, try to go back and visit it. Because I can tell you this, take it from me, I waited way too long to open that door. I wish I had opened that door 20 years ago. For you young people, you 20s, in your 20s, 25, 30, you young people in your 40s, because I'm 47, you're young, open the door now. And then you turn that door and you turn that key, you can start to become genuine and real. So in being real with who you are and what worry and fear represent is the first step to creating the better life. So I want to talk a minute about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a subject that has been somewhat touched. So you can say it's been touched by Daniel Goleman and several other professionals through books and through writings. But as a whole, emotional intelligence, the awareness of who you are internally in order to be able to be externally useful, is a very small, minutely touched topic. It has not even scratched the surface of what it does. And the reason I say that is because I was talking to a friend of mine last night about it, and he asked me, why isn't emotional intelligence taught in schools? Why isn't it taught in churches? Why isn't it taught in corporations? Why isn't this part of a leadership development program at school institutions to teach business and econ and finance and leadership? How come it's not part of the curriculum? And I said, that's a good question. That's a good question, because really the internal factors that are inside of us have to be healthy and content at levels that are strong enough to be able to do well in these areas. We can push through and we can grind it out like we do here a lot in our country. But all in all, emotional intelligence is misunderstood, it's miscomprehended, and it's actually misused. And it needs to be used more. I'm advocating for that right now in this video. So if you are emotionally intelligent, will you be more proficient in your job, as a husband, as a father, as a boyfriend, girlfriend, as a coworker, as a member of a church or member of an organization? Will you be more proficient in what you do? Will you have less anxiety and less worry and greater and healthier proficiency from an emotional standpoint? Well, I believe the answer to that is yes. But the only way to do that is to really take time, get stuck in, identify your worry, identify your fear, and then step through the door and leave it open in order to engage what it really means to gain access to healthy emotional intelligence. So here's what I want you to do tonight for homework after you watch this video. I want you to go ahead and spend a little time researching the topic of emotional intelligence. I want you to find out the definition. I want you to look at some articles. Take a little bit of time maybe to read some stuff on the internet about emotional intelligence and what it represents. I think you'll be very surprised on what it really stands for and really what it identifies. And you might say, oh, I already know what that is. That's fine. If you don't want to look it up, that's your choice. I think emotional intelligence is a misunderstood concept, and people who are very smart and very academically and knowledgeably proficient miss the message of emotional intelligence more than just the simple man who walks through the door and does a job from 9 to 5 and goes home smelling after a dirty day out, maybe in the community working as a construction guy. So I want to encourage everybody here, all the viewers, to go ahead and do some research on this. I appreciate the time. It's been great. I'm just a guy, man, just trying to get a message out. I don't have all the answers, but I have experienced a ton of dysfunction, and I am learning to better myself through liking who I am and learning what emotional intelligence needs to look like in my life. So, hey, this is Real Stuff, Real Change. It's been great. Wednesday. Hope you have a great hump day, great evening tonight, whatever you're doing. If you're interested, just reach out to us. We'd love to help you explore deeper meanings for your life and create whatever you want to create that is not dysfunctional, but is emotionally intelligent. With that, take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.